Hello and welcome to a new video here on my channel here at commaik. It's time to draw a conclusion about the waterproofing of our basement, which I completed a little over a year ago. I installed a new horizontal barrier in the walls, and I promised you that I would give you feedback on whether this injection cream actually works. Today is the day I'm taking you along. I'll show you the result after 3/4 of a year. Stay tuned to see what has become of the wall. In January of this year, I waterproofed the wall in this basement. The building I'm in was built around 1900. It stands directly in the ground. It doesn't have a solid foundation. As a result, the walls are not really sealed at the bottom. I installed drainage around the house. That way, only a little water reaches the foundation, but the building stands right in the middle of a clay pit. When it rains heavily, like it has in recent weeks, water collects under the house and finds its way into the walls. For this reason, I have also gradually dried out the inside of the building. I installed a horizontal barrier. I retrofitted the walls with it. I tried injection solutions with the bottles. I tried injection solutions with the sticks. Here in our spa and sauna area, I used the injection cream. If you want to know how I actually got the stuff into the wall, then take a look up in the corner. There, I'll link you to the video of the installation. But today it's not about the installation, it's about the result. It was done in January, and now we're heading straight into November. It's been a good 9 months, and now it is indeed time for a comprehensive conclusion. Apart from carefully injecting the specialized cream, I genuinely haven't done anything else whatsoever to these particular walls. And as you can clearly see, the walls are still completely free of any paint whatsoever, maintaining their original appearance. Here in the lower area, also back here in this area, you can see the efflorescence. This occurs when moisture rises up through the walls and evaporates. The salts and minerals still remain within and on the surface of the wall. Compared to the original, it is clear that in the video the wall looks a bit worse, but the salting has decreased. That's also very much noticeable. What you can see extremely clearly and distinctly are the numerous drill holes that I meticulously drilled down here into the surface. I had originally and quite thoroughly sealed them completely with this specially prepared ready-made repair mortar, ensuring a complete and lasting seal. Within the first 2 weeks, the mortar shrank quite a bit, so that small depressions formed here, or rather the holes are open again. Of course, I will reseal the holes, close them up and properly fill them before continuing here. What else can you see? I hope you can see it well from a distance. Around the holes, an aura has formed, a moisture spot. This area is dry, it's not wet. In this area, in my opinion, the liquid from the injection cream has spread. The liquid was injected directly into the bed joints and was then able to spread horizontally and vertically in the masonry. You can clearly see that the walls have also developed an aura up here. I noticed this for the first time when we put the sauna back into operation about 3 to 4 weeks ago. We heated the room up quickly for a short period. The outside temperature and the indoor temperature had previously been around 15 degrees Celsius. Due to the shower, the humidity in the air was further increased. The walls absorbed the moisture quite well. Here in this area, you could clearly see that something was working very differently here. You could clearly make out the bed joints. They appeared lighter than the bricks themselves. In my opinion, this is because the bed joints no longer absorb any moisture at all, while the bricks still absorb moisture from the air, but it's from the air, not from the ground. Certainly it also has something to do with the temperature difference and condensation, but that's just my gut feeling. Have the values really improved, or is it just wishful thinking because I want to justify the price I invested here? Let's just test it. I still have my moisture meter. This is the Same device I already used in the first video. I'll link the device for you again below the video. That way you can conveniently buy it. I'm turning on the device. I'm calibrating the device with a single click. When I applied the injection solution, I wrote the measurements I had back then directly on the wall. Now, if I measure in this area, you can see it. From the 49%, it has become 52%. That's actually a bit more. Over here, from 59% down to 41%. Significantly less, from 58% to 49%, 50%. The values in this area have actually improved. And up here, where I previously also had values in the 50s, the measurement has settled at 53%. That means here on the wall, not much has really changed. In January, it rained a lot and it was much colder outside. It has also rained a lot recently. So even though the climate is noticeably better, feels the values don't actually show any improvement. But what does it look like here on the big wall? Over there, that's the weather side. This area is hit directly by the rain. The measurements there used to be significantly higher at 82% or 68%. If I check the marked spot now, the values are still higher than on the other wall, but they are noticeably lower than before. The 82% have significantly dropped to a mere 60.9%. Furthermore, the 86% has also substantially dropped to between 70% and 71%. These particular values are still, however, quite concerning, much too high. It has dropped significantly from 78% down to 58%. I think the overall trend, especially in this particular area of the wall, is quite concerning and needs further attention. It's clearly visible. The moisture in the walls has gradually decreased. I didn't just measure the moisture in the walls with this device back then, but of course also the ambient humidity within the room. My Tapo humidity meter currently reads a comfortable 15 degrees C with a significant 72% relative humidity. This particular value has also been measurably and noticeably improved. What I personally found very, very interesting to observe was the area with the heavy efflorescence on the wall. That area has shifted further downward. Originally, the efflorescence was in this area. Now, they have accumulated about 10 centimeter lower, a noticeable change in the snowpack. You can clearly see this phenomenon here as well. The old layer went around this specific point. The new one is now a bit lower. The same thing applies here. What you can observe very clearly is the precise difference in the snow's settled height. Is that these salt deposits naturally create a lot of mess. They produce dirt and dust. No matter whether I paint over the walls or not, it falls down and collects here. The whole thing is still not perfect. That's why I want to continue treating these walls. Next, a waterproofing slurry will be applied. After that, I will install a wall heater. It will be an electric wall heater. It heats in the infrared range. The micrometer thin heating film is glued or troweled onto the wall and then connected to a transformer. The heating film is supposed to warm the room and, of course, the wall at the same time. I'm curious to see if that actually works. It seems to be an interesting solution. Here in the basement area, I can give it a try. What else can I say as a conclusion? Of course, my fears were that the water would find another way if I sealed off the walls and no more moisture comes up from below. The moisture isn't gone, it just ends up somewhere else. So my fear was that the moisture would appear here in the area, below the baseboard, below the drill holes. I was afraid that this tile edge would chip off, but nowhere in the entire area have new moisture spots appeared. Nor has there been any loosening in the masonry. No tiles have fallen off either. What I did notice, however, is the increased moisture to the left of the last drill hole. Here, behind my inspection wall, I didn't inject any cream there. The last hole is this one here, but the wall continues further. There's still about 30 to 40 centimeters. Back there, the moisture is still quite high. That's why I also installed ventilation holes on the other side of the wall. I will also have to install a new additional horizontal barrier in this wall. The water that doesn't rise here has now found its way to the left and right. Of course, it has to escape somewhere. Since I can't do anything from the outside, since I've already done everything I can there, I have to see how I can get the walls dry this way. By the way, if you're interested in this project and want to know something, I'm happy to answer your questions. Just write in the comments what you're interested in. Please also let me know what experiences you've had and which concepts you've implemented. I also want to learn from you and look forward to a lively exchange. And while you're already checking under the video, take a look at the video description. There I'll link not only my other projects for you, but also the products I've used here. You know, all this stuff costs money. I'll put my product links in here for you. Same price for you and a small commission for me and my channel. That's how I make progress and how I finance my projects. And with that, I'm already done with my short and concise conclusion on waterproofing. I hope it helps you out. Otherwise, just write to me. Don't forget to give me a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have many more projects planned and I'm looking forward to having you along. Until then, take care. See you in the next video. Bye.